We found that Americans are pretty pessimistic about politics, President Trump, and the overall direction of the country as this year comes to a conclusion. They feel overwhelmingly that the country is not moving in the right direction. 3 in 10 Americans said that the country was moving in the right direction. And that's a pretty grim assessment for the president and for Republicans as they head into 2018 when the control of Congress is going to be up for grabs. And again, we were really struck by just the breadth of the pessimism. It applies to the way people feel about how President Trump is handling major issues, things like healthcare, things like foreign policy. The one relative bright spot for the president was on the economy. About 40% of Americans approved of the job he's doing, but 40% in the context of an economy that actually is improving, where you see unemployment hovering around 4%, is certainly lower than the White House would be hoping. When the president talks about his year, he talks about it in grand historic terms, saying that he's done more in one year than any of his predecessors have. But what the public told us is that they just don't feel that way. It's less than a quarter of Americans who say that the president has fulfilled his campaign promises. And only about half of Republicans feel that he's fulfilled those campaign promises. And that's part of why you see this urgency from the White House to really get a tax overhaul done before the end of the year. Because the reality is, no matter what rhetoric the president uses, he has not had a major legislative success in 2017. They know that if they're going to head into 2018 and try to convince voters to keep Republicans in charge on Capitol Hill and then eventually ask them to keep Trump in office, they have to start showing some tangible successes. And based on the way the year has gone, the only thing they have left standing is a tax overhaul.